That's for Kirsten.
Well, just tell us what your reaction is to go to Minneapolis for this regional.
Well, we're excited. We knew that if we didn't host and they didn't put us on a flight, we'd be at Minnesota or Nebraska. Those were the two locations that we thought would be hosting within the 400-mile radius. And obviously, Iowa State's a great team, and we played them in the exhibition. We're very familiar with their program. They're very familiar with us. Christy and I are good friends. So it should be a really tough battle. And we'll look forward to getting prepped all week. It's just, this is always such a fun time. It's, there's just an adrenaline rush that kicks in for everybody. It's, staff's already at the office breaking down film, and, this is just an exciting time.
But it's been a while since you guys have had to enter this thing coming off of a loss. What type of team are you expecting in the gym tomorrow based on a sour taste that's probably in their mouth based on the last performance?
I think the thing with this team is they've been consistent in the gym all year long. Their number one goal for the season was to be the best Creighton practice team. So what I anticipate in the gym is the same that we've had. I mean, they're resilient. I think, we mourned on Friday, and then we were ready to go on Saturday. And that's, you're a competitor. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and the great ones are able to bounce after losses.
What did you learn from that? What did you learn from it? What they move forward, take with it?
Well, we've got to be cleaner. I thought we were high air. I think, how we approach the match, just some things that we can do as coaches to be better. I think we learned some things that I think will help us going into this weekend. And, you just move on. And, we've played a lot of good ball over the last couple weeks, and hopefully we'll do that this weekend.
The last few years you've celebrated a championship on Saturday and then come here and last two with the expectation of hosting. How did you handle your team earlier today or Saturday or after the game? I don't know, what was your sort of plan? Did you feel like you needed to engage them or interact with them during that break?
Well, Friday, I wanted that loss to sting a little bit. I think a little bit of that is good, and I think it did. And, but by Saturday, we have to move on, and I think they did that. So, we're over it. I mean, I mean that quite sincerely. Now it's, what we want to achieve is still in front of us. We've got to be ready to go, and I think emotionally, I think they're very similar to when, I think they're confident and believe in what we're doing, and they still are united as a group. Even though we lost, they never at one point ever fell apart as emotionally or with each other. So those are all good things going forward, and now we just got to play a little bit better.
Kirsten, I asked the other two gals about 4 years ago, the seniors played on the road in the tournament. They were like road warriors and made it to the Elite Eight. What is it? Sometimes better to go on the road sometimes where you don't have all the distractions?
It's interesting because I think some of our players, I don't know what they said to you, like being on the road more. It just feels like they're more contained. There's not, distractions is the word that they would use. So I think there are positives to going on the road. It's a very tough draw. Iowa State's a great team. I don't even want to look ahead. If we win that match, we got to focus on a Friday night match, and then hopefully, we can play well enough to get an opportunity. And so, but I think this team understands every match. That year we made the Elite Eight, we went 5 every single match. So I think a tough draw is not daunting to them. I think they know to do what they want to do. Any team in this field that we knew we were going to get could beat us, even if we were hosting, right, for the first round. So we have to be ready to go and play at our highest level, .1 on Friday night.
Is there something to be said about where this program's at, knowing that you hosted the last 2 years, could have 3 years, whatever, where you're at, and then when you don't host, there's talking to the kids, there's some level of disappointment in them that where you're at as a program, that's now the new normal?
Well, obviously you hope that I think it's such a grind to get to the top 25, and then when you get into that top 15 range, it's hard to stay there. And what this team has done, regardless of the fact that we're not hosting, is, I think, really remarkable. I think it is a testament of their trust in each other and everyone stepping up and playing an important role. We don't have a big star this year, and I think we've really relished that and enjoyed that each of them, everyone plays such a key role in our success. So, I don't have anything profound for you, Andy, on if it is like, but, we're excited to be in the tournament. And I can tell you in August, I didn't know whether we'd be in the tournament, and I came tonight knowing we were in the tournament. And I said to my husband prior, it's pretty great knowing we're not on the bubble, that we're going to get in, even if we didn't get the AQ.
I think you've beaten 5 NCAA tournament teams away from Omaha this year. What have you seen out of this group? Because there were some young, inexperienced pieces being thrown into key roles this year. What did you see out of those matches that you feel like this group is going to be able to embrace this challenge and bring the best to the court when they have to play on Friday?
Well, I think what they've developed is a lot of trust. And so I know that's like a trigger word that people can kind of get glazed over, but what that manifests is that if you hit times of stress, they can still go for it because it doesn't become personal. And I think that hopefully will allow us to play free and take risks. And, obviously you hope good things happen when you take risks. It doesn't always happen that way. But I think our upperclassmen have done a really great job of building relationships with their younger kids so that if they're on the court, they are freed up to go for it. And I think that's really, really critical, especially as you hit this time of year.
Can you just give me a comment on Brittany, her senior year, this is it, and what she means to have her in the tournament?
Yeah, Brittany's been amazing for 4 years, and I think by far this has even been her best year, which is a big statement considering how good she's been the 3 years prior. She's just doing it all, and she's covered. We're giving her a lot of space, and she's a gamer. I mean, we hope that for all these seniors that we play a long time, because I can't tell you enough about the entire senior class.
I have one question for you, and I kind of forgot.
Sorry.
No, when did your team kind of develop? When did you notice this team sort of adopt that process-driven mentality? I'd imagine it was something you just sort of let them develop on their own. When did you see them sort of buy into that?
Well, we've talked about process for a long time. That's been a mantra within our program. But I think it was May when they came, or not May, April. At the end of spring season, we have a meeting, and we kind of goal set and do quite a bit in that meeting. And they said we don't want to set any objective stuff. They wanted everything to be process oriented. So it was then that they said we just want to focus on doing all the right things and let the chips fall. And I think it's been huge for this group because it's just allowed them to play free.
Right. Is there any benefit of having played them before, or at least seen them, earlier in the year?
I think there's benefits for both of us.
Yeah, right.
Again, of course we feel like we're familiar, but just as we feel familiar, they feel familiar. So I think it's a wash in that respect.
How close is your relationship with Christy?
Pretty close. I mean, I don't talk to her all that regularly, but we'll text, and I sure think the world of her. I think she's a great person and a great coach, and I know her team will be ready to play.
Did you play against her in high school, or were you about the same
I got
time?
to know Christy through coaching, and then she was AVCA president when I was the Division I rep, so we spent a lot of time on committees with each other.
I don't think
Text this week.
What?
I said you text, so you're gonna text this week. Do you not
I haven't
text?
texted with her in a long time, but maybe I'll text her just to say that I did.
Just say, hey, here's our game plan. Yeah.
The media wants to know that we're texting each other.
Right. It makes for it better.
Right.
Screenshot it and then tweet it.
Some in the media.
Screenshot and tweet. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think Creighton Iowa State when those two play, it's usually first to 190 gets the win. Basically, what type of match are you expecting that type of match where it's just a grind and every point has to be really hard earned? I guess
Iowa State's teams historically have been known for incredible defense. So I have not watched them a ton as of late. We actually had some staff watch them last week, but I know that they are tenacious defensively. And then they're running a very quick offense, or at least they were last time that we played. And then they're good everywhere. So lots of good pieces, and then we'll dive into film obviously tonight and tomorrow.
with what you're dealing with offensively on the injury front, what does that do to your game plan in terms of how to prepare for a team like that you know already going in is going to be tough to score on when you're at full strength?
Well, I think the injury front's behind. I mean, I think we have our team, and so I don't think there's anything other than, we need to prepare and be ready to go.